Good morning. My name is Commander and Dragon. I'm a member of the Committee of Gods. I'm also a member of the Galactic Federations. I'm here to share information with you about what is taking place inside the part of the world called the Holy Land, which is currently seeing a war being committed against the descendants of the son of Abraham, firstborn son Ishmael, the Palestinians, by the descendants of Isaac, the second-born son of Abraham, inside the Gaza Strip today. I am here to share information with you about the deceptive, deceitful scheme being used by the individual who has single-handedly staged, crafted this slaughter of innocent human beings inside the Holy Land because of his diabolical, deceptive, and deceitful agenda that he has worked with the group he's a part of to bring to life on October 7th. The lost soul living as Benjamin Netanyahu today, he has single-handedly brought about this manufactured war inside what is called the Holy Land, using the most deceptive mass deception that has been staged on the surface of this planet for a long time now. The word Gaza is man-made, created by the ones who are attacking our Palestinian brothers and sisters, descendants of Ishmael, firstborn son of Abraham. Today, Benjamin Netanyahu continues to insist that he will not allow for a two-state solution to come into the Holy Land, that he will not allow any outside governments to dictate to him how he should conduct this war which he created. I'm here to share information with you from different sources, from the spiritual realms, from the Galactic Federations, and from human beings who have researched this topic and put information out there for human beings to be able to access, view, process, and make sense of. A brother named Matthew Ward, he passed away about 20 years ago. He was one of the disciples of Lord Jesus, the one who lived as Matthew. He's back today, was back today about 20 years ago, and he died in a car accident. He's not back home. He's been one of the most informed, compelling information giver from the spiritual realms. And he says this about what's going on in Gaza. Let me get my glasses so I can read this for you. In his November 1st, 2023 monthly posting, which he posts once a month, Matthew states the following: with 11 greetings from All Souls at this station, this is Matthew. The Illuminati cause death and destruction wherever it fits their agenda. This time it is Israel, and the objective is to destroy Palestine and secure Jerusalem as the Illuminati headquarters in the Middle East. This isn't an isolated event in their minds. It is another step toward world domination. Now, the Illuminati is a secret society that has been working around the clock for many generations to create a one world government, a global dictatorship, where they intend to eliminate 90% of the human race from the planet using wars, pollution, and diseases, especially. Now, Matthew says this in his monthly message on November 1st, 2023. Matthew Ward. He says, continues, Benjamin Netanyahu, who was in the Illuminati ranks before becoming Israel's prime minister in 1996, was one of the masterminds of the unconscionable attack. He never intended to serve the best interest of Israel or Jews living anywhere in the world. Always his aim and actions have been to align with Illuminati agendas, chronological events which they planned decades prior to initiation, and they formed Hamas and all other terrorist groups to assist them. Aided by a strong campaign against anti-Semitism and the premise that Israel needs a powerful military force to ensure its survival, the country has had dependable emotional, military, and financial backing ever since its inception in 1947. However, withdrawing the formidable defense at the border with Gaza just prior to the assault was so suspicious that Netanyahu is not getting the widespread support he expected. The Biden administration and a few other Illuminati operated governments are raising the battle cry with him. But others check my notes here. Others and I don't have the rest because my family and I are living in a state of constant crisis inside a city known as Niagara Falls, living in a hotel as a homeless family, long-term residents for 3 years and 4 months. We have been constantly assaulted, attacked, harassed, tormented, tortured, and terrorized by government agents who are coming into our space unseen wearing cloaks of invisibility that allows them to teleport through the fourth dimension unseen and attack my family inside our home. I am the husband of a being known as Avatar Galextra, spiritual master and master teacher. She is also the female Messiah who's on this planet today to fulfill the second coming by holding the sacred office of the Christ in this lifetime. And she's being terrorized around the clock, attacked throughout her body from head to toe, attacked inside her mind, heart, joints, rectum, wound, psyche. They're trying to prevent the avatar from expressing herself as a verbal martial artist, which she has been since I've known her for almost 49 years now in this lifetime. So we have been terrorized in this space where we live. And I've been unable to be able to get any work done, to do any broadcast in this building, in this space, for a number of months now, because they come into our space and tell us the avatar to go home, where she's supposed to live, which is false. And they also come into our space, and because the avatar is a master medium, they are using this technology with massive fourth dimension capability to kick me out of that space continuously, day and night, or to send her walking up and down this main street on London's Lane, just to make sure that we do not have the freedom to rest peacefully, to be able to get any work done, to be able to bring about the changes that the Avatar came here to do, to bring all beings together, all life forms, and to show human beings how to work together as a family to create a world that works for everyone, that is unfair and unjust to no one, and which serves the greater good of all of life and all life forms in life, and in the process serves one's own greatest good and one's own highest ideals at the same time. Now, back to the issue. Why I'm sitting here in this chair at 5, almost 6 o'clock in the morning to speak to you, the people. You have been robbed of your true identity as immortal beings of living light. Your systems, governments, institutions, religions, and all those who have become your gatekeepers have intentionally lied to you, misinformed you, misguided you about your true identity. They've told you that you only live once, and that when you leave here, you go to a hell or a heavenly place, depending on the God that you serve or do not serve. And they tell you that you only have 2 strands of DNA, which allows you to literally have little access to who and what you really are. They've robbed you of the ability to speak to each other telepathically, to speak to the other beings living across the planet, animal beings, plant beings, oceanic beings, your pets. They're your animal brothers and sisters. They're like you, made of light, living light. As the Avatar says, you, each of us, are beings of living light, when mortal clothes of flesh and bones that were put on at birth to walk the face of the earth, one life at a time. Now, in Gaza, this war that was started, correction, Netanyahu is an Illuminati. He's been a member of that secret society even before he became a politician. And they crafted this scheme to first form Hamas in, I think, the late 2005, Hamas came into office, power in Gaza. And Netanyahu made sure that Hamas remained strong by funneling money, hundreds of millions of dollars in cash from Qatar to Hamas to make sure that it survived and it stays strong, so that the presence of Hamas in Gaza will block the Palestinian people from being able to work together to ask for 2-state solution in that land. So this lost soul, Netanyahu, he intentionally, he weaved this plot. He had to form Hamas, and then he turned around and used Hamas to attack his own people on October 7th. He sacrificed his own people in order to serve his diabolical agenda, which he's showing. And part of that is to take back the Holy Land, which including the West Bank, which used to be called Samaria, and the other one, blank, take that back, and also remove the Palestinians, the cousins of the Jews, from the Holy Land and drive them back into out of that Holy Land into Egypt, or maybe Lebanon, which they did in 1957 when Israel came back to the Holy Land to establish its own nation in 1957. The evidence of what Netanyahu has done to um, set up the sacrifices people on October 7th. It's in different um, articles written by journalists with integrity and courage. This one here I find very useful. It's let me get it. It says it's written by um, Ronan Bergman and Adam Goldman, reporting from Tel Aviv, and the article is titled Israel knew Hamas's attack plan more than a year ago. And I'll read a portion of it for you because it's very informative and it's also incriminating. It begins by saying Israel officially obtained Hamas's battle plan for the October 7th terrorist attack more than a year before it happened. Documents, email, and interviews show. But Israeli military and intelligence officials dismissed the plan as aspirational, considering it too difficult for Hamas to carry out. The approximately 40-page document, which the Israeli authorities codenamed Jericho Wall, outlined point by point exactly the kind of devastating invasion that led to the deaths of about 1,200 people. The translated document, which was reviewed by the New York Times, did not set a date for the attack, but described a methodical assault designed to overwhelm the fortifications around the Gaza Strip, take over Israeli cities, and storm key military bases, including a division headquarters. Hamas followed the blueprint with shocking precision. The document called for a barrage of rockets at the outset of the attack, drones to knock out the security cameras, and automated machine guns along the border, and gunmen to pour into Israel en masse in paragliders, on bicycles, on motorcycles, and on foot, all of which happened on October 7th. I cannot see very well in this setting, even though it's not bad, because my eyesight is not as good as it used to be. The plan also included details about the location and size of Israel's military forces, communication hubs, and other sensitive information, raising questions about how Hamas gathered its intelligence and whether there were leaks inside the Israeli security establishment. It continues. The document circulated widely among Israeli military and intelligence leaders, but experts determined that an attack of that scale and ambition was beyond Hamas's capabilities, according to documents and officials. It is unclear whether Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu or other top political leaders saw the document as well. A number of other sources online have covered this story about how the Israeli government allowed its military security system and services to stand down on October 7th so that it could sacrifice the lives of hundreds of its own citizens, 1,200 approximately, and allowed about 250 of them to be taken as hostages so that this Illuminati ranking member, Netanyahu, can then turn around and declare war on Hamas, the same group that he helped to mastermind and create. So this massive deception that brought about this war in Gaza was single-handedly schemed by the person who has served as Israel's longest serving prime minister for 16 years. And Netanyahu, as Matthew points out, does not care about the people of Israel, nor about the people of the Palestinian nation. He is trying to remove all of the Palestinians from the Holy Land and reestablish the world that the Israeli controlled about 3,000 years ago, where they lived inside the Holy Land, West Bank, which used to be, again, blank, used to be Samaria, and the other one, Judea, and East Jerusalem. So I'm here to inform my brothers and sisters living as members of the human race that the war in Gaza was manufactured by the Israeli Prime Minister, and he's refusing to agree to any kind of solution that brings about peace inside that Holy Land, because his intention is not to protect his people as he claims to be the protector of the Israelites. He's not. He's the betrayer and deceiver of his own people. He is a Jew, not in identity or in action, but only in name. And this person, this lost soul, he is working to try to bring about another world war on this planet, which the Illuminati have been trying to do for a number of centuries now. Correction, for a number of decades now, ever since they helped to start the Second World War. In fact, they created the Second World War and other wars on this planet because they've been trying to eliminate about 90% of human beings from this planet. And they are puppets of rogue beings who came from the galactic civilizations to try to establish, try to take over Mother Earth as a planet. Mother Earth is not going to allow any group to take control of its life and of its world. And that's why she is returning back home to the spiritual realms as we speak. And she is moving into an atmosphere where negativity cannot survive. So people are wondering, and they should, why is this person in Israel insisting that he has to eliminate Hamas, which he helped to secretly create before he ends the war? In war, the first casualty is always the truth. And the truth about what's happening in Gaza is out there. Different sources have put out information. One of them is livemint.com. It says Israel had 40-page document warning of 7 October attack. They brushed it off. Another source, the Jerusalem Post, posted an article December 1st, 2023, saying Israel had detailed Hamas plan about a year ago, dismissed them. And the document, which the authorities call the Jericho Wall, is one which outlines how Hamas was going to be used by Netanyahu to attack his own people on October 7th, so that he could then turn around and go into Gaza with his military might, like a Goliath, and slaughter so far 30-something thousand immortals, living as mortal beings inside the part of the Holy Land. This war in Gaza has to stop because it is based on lies, deception, and deceit. And those governments who have been supporting Netanyahu, who are now saying he has to face reality and take steps to make sure that this war ends, that is a permanent ceasefire, and that all the humanitarian catastrophe that he has created has to be attended to. He's literally trying to starve millions of human beings inside that holy land so that he can create a crisis that will keep him in power and be able to survive what's coming. Because once the war ends, then the investigations will begin. And Netanyahu does not want the war to end because he knows that he is responsible for the war that is raging in the Holy Land, and that's killing, starving, and destroying the lives of tens of thousands of human beings, and is causing people like me, commander from the spiritual realms and from the Galactic Federation, from the Committee of Gods and Goddesses, to speak out, even though my family and I are being constantly terrorized inside our home by American agents wearing cloaks of invisibility who stole that technology from two scientists from the Avatar's birth country after World War II, and then murdered these two scientists, took this technology, which looks like a round golden colored miniature spaceship, back to America and gave it to the military industrial complex to hide it inside the possession for 8 decades now. So I'm asking the people of Gaza, the descendants of Ishmael, who are being genocided by Netanyahu, and the descendants of Isaac, cousins, to wake up and understand that the crimes being committed against them was crafted and weaved deceptively and deceitfully by someone who does not give a fig about any one of them and insists on destroying that land so that he can turn around and have more Israeli settlements built on land that was deemed to belong to the Palestinian people by the different UN, whatever they call, world unions that look after these issues among nations. I am here to let you know that each of you is not only an immortal being living in a mortal body made of flesh and bones, but you're each an individual extension of the Creator in action. And you're being deprived of the right to know that you not only have abilities that have been blocked and hidden from you, but they've told you that you only have two DNA cells, DNA abilities, two strands of DNA, which limits your ability to speak telepathically, which you used to do a long time ago, to teleport, which you used to do a long time ago, to be able to materialize things instantly, to be able to levitate, to be able to speak to all life forms just as they speak to you, your pets. They're all beings of living light. They're your brothers and sisters living in different bodies. My beloved human brothers and sisters, there is a great awakening coming to this planet in this generation, and it is on the horizon. You will see more and more beings from the spiritual realms, from the Galactic Federation, coming amongst you to alert you, to inform you that you are equals forever, and that you have a right to be able to access the information that you own, the treasures that you are, and the treasures that you carry. What's happening across the planet? There's about 110 armed conflicts being waged, started by the groups who have the same group that Netanyahu is a member of, because they want to keep human beings in a state of fear, anxiety, and rage, so that they will continue to live as puppets, pawns, and cradles, puppets, pawns, slaves, and prisoners from the cradle to the grave. Blessings to each of you. I invite you to search for the truth, because in war, the first casualty is the truth. It's up to you, Israelites, in the Holy Land, up to you, Palestinians, in the Holy Land, to understand that you are family. Your cousins, your ancestor is the legendary being known as Abraham. And you're being divided against each other and encouraged to attack and kill each other. And Israel does not have the right to use a military might, as Netanyahu is doing, to kill human beings because he decides that he wants to go and find Hamas, when he knows that he secretly helped to form Hamas, and that this war he's raging, it's an unjust war, and one which has to come to an end, because the age of tyranny, dictatorship, suppression, oppression, that is coming to a close, my brothers and sisters. You're on the verge of entering a new way of being, as the Avatar says, where you each start to recognize that you're connected to each other as immortal brothers and sisters, and you have to work together as a family, and you have to merge your ego with the greater self. As the Avatar says, we're equals forever, no matter who and what we are, and none of us is better than the other, whether we're a woman or man, a boy or girl, or have all the money in the world. If you think that you are superior to someone else, it is only because you feel inferior inside yourself. I'm going to leave because I'm living in crisis with my family, being attacked constantly by unseen criminals wearing cloaks of invisibility coming from America. But they would be exposed for the wrongs they're doing to this family 24/7. And they would be brought to justice, because America is the most corrupt nation on this planet, as people like the respectful Bernie Sanders keeps pointing out. And a nation, as the Avatar says, planet Earth is under siege and being held hostage by oppressive regime that cannot speak the truth. And most of you don't even realize that you're being duped. A government that loses its humanity, it's late in the morning, so I can't recall the information that I'm trying to bring to you. But this you should know. You have the ability to come together peacefully, raise your voices, and speak out about wrongs you're seeing around you, because of the connection you share. Your body actually weighs 21 grams, and you're living inside bodies made of living light. So you have the ability to do things that you have no idea that you could do, because you have been prevented from accessing the information that belongs to you by those who are intentionally keeping you from connecting with your true identity as immortal beings of living light. As the Avatar says, begin to look every problem squarely in the eye. Be honest and true. because you cannot lie. Find out where it came from and why it's arrived, and see what it is that you're doing that is keeping it alive. Do this inventory of your life each and every day, and you will find that the problems that live inside you will be swept away just like the dust that is swept from your home each day. So, my human brothers and sisters, you have a right and responsibility to be there for each other, to look out for each other, to look after each other. If you don't, you're helping to support a way of life that is denying, limiting, dehumanizing, degrading your brothers and sisters from different cultures based on skin color and race and gender and other superficial, artificial qualifications. So it's time for you to come together. It's time for you to recognize that you have the ability to express yourself as individual expressions of the Creator in action. Blessings to each of you. My intention is for you to process this information without fear of favor. And if it resonates with you, then you can press like at the bottom of the screen. I will speak to you again when I'm able to do so. In the meantime, please take the time to care about each other, because when you leave here, the only thing that you take from this planet are the lessons you've learned through the relationships that you've formed. So when you go back home, you can't take a thing that you've spent your time here trying to gather and hoard and protect and steal, because these things will be left behind. Because when you leave here, you go back home. Then you come back when you're ready with a new life planned to learn new life lessons. So, my mortal sisters and brothers living as members of the human race today, be there for each other, and blessings to you from the spiritual hierarchy, from the community of goddesses and gods, from the 200 nations living inside your world, 800 miles below, as the Agarthian society, civilizations. They have been there for millions of years in this honeycombed world, hollow interior that Mother Earth owns and provides them with all that they need to live in harmony with each other. You are on the verge of moving into a higher level of being, but you have to work together to bring all the lies to the surface and be able to study them and start to remove all the things that you see around you and inside you that's blocking you from being able to expand your consciousness and become the kind of beings that you're brought into existence to be. Blessings to each of you. I'll talk to you again. Have a good day. And as Avatar says, and a great life. Goodbye.